Hello guys, welcome to mathematics class with Flash Isaac. Today I'll be taking you through quadratic function. I am sure you've come across questions like this, quadratic equation questions involving alpha and beta. You'll be wondering, which one is this one again? How do I go about it? This is what I'm about to show you today. How to derive alpha plus beta, alpha beta, and what to do if you are asked to evaluate alpha beta and alpha plus beta. So at the end of these videos, you should be able to deal with quadratic equation questions involving alpha and beta. Now, in my previous quadratic equation videos, I explained that in quadratic equation, the highest power of variable is 2. And the standard form of quadratic equation is simply as squared plus bs plus c is equals 0, where a, b, and c are known. Then s is the unknown. We need to look for s. I also explained that we can solve quadratic equation using factorization method, completing the square method. We can use formula method and even graph. And I explained that sometimes you'll be given the roots of quadratic equation and asked to find the quadratic equation. In that case, the quadratic equation is simply s squared minus sum of roots times s plus product of roots is equals 0. So if I give you roots, I say let the root of quadratic equation be 2 and 1. Find the quadratic equation. It's simply to substitute into this formula. So it becomes s squared minus sum of roots is simply 2 plus 1, which is 3 times s, that's 3s, plus product of roots is simply 2 times 1, 2 is equals 0. So this is how you go about that. And I also explained that this is the general formula for quadratic equation, which is also called almighty formula. It's simply y, or whatever you are looking for, s is equals minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, if this is the case, this means s, or the first value of s, is equals minus b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And the second value of s, s2, is equals minus b. So we've used plus, we're not using the minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So these are the two values. If we say let s1 be equals alpha, so if s1 is equals alpha and let s1 equals alpha and let s2 equals beta, so it means alpha is equals this guy and beta is equals that guy. Now look at something. Let's call this d. Not because we are changing anything, we want to try to make the equation as simple as possible. So to do that, we already agreed that let s1 be alpha. So alpha will simply be equals minus b plus square root of d over 2a, right? In that case, we also agreed that let s2 be beta. So beta is simply minus b minus square root of d all over 2a. So check if you agree with that. If you agree with this, now take a look at this. Alpha plus beta or alpha plus beta will simply be equals, look at it, minus b plus root d over 2a plus, okay, minus b minus square root of d all over 2a. So we've not changed anything, right? So look at the LCM. They are similar. So the LCM for both is 2a. So this becomes alpha plus beta is equals 2a minus b plus square root of d plus minus b minus square root of d. Now let's simplify. We have minus b here and we have minus b here. So this simply becomes minus 2b. We have plus d here and we have minus d here. So it cancels. So if we are using everything here, minus square root of b squared minus 4a minus square root of b squared minus 4ac squared, it will still cancel here. So that's the reason we simplified, to make things lighter. So this becomes alpha plus beta is equals minus 2b all over 2a. This is gone. 2 divided by 2, 1. So alpha plus beta is equals minus b over a. Equation 1. So we've gotten their sum. Anytime you are given alpha plus beta, it's simply minus b over a. What does that mean? If you are given this quadratic equation, this is simply a is 1 and b is simply minus 1, then c is 1. So minus b over a is simply your alpha plus beta. We will get there. So let's note it here. So let's proceed. Let's look for the product of roots. The product of root will simply be alpha beta, or alpha times beta, is equals minus b plus square root of d all over 2a times minus b plus square root of d all over 2a. So that is the product of roots. So this becomes alpha beta is equals minus b times minus b will give you plus b square. So b square minus b times minus root d is simply plus b root d. So b square plus b root d minus b root d, that's this times this, plus root d minus root d is simply minus root d square. So all over 4a square. So this becomes alpha beta is equals b square plus b root d minus b root d will give you 0. So it will give you b square minus root d square all over 4a square. So we're able to arrive at this, right? So let's proceed. Now, given this, we know that alpha beta is equals b square. Now, this square obviously remove the square root. So we are left with b square minus 4ac. So over 4a square. This becomes b square minus b square plus 4ac all over 4a square. Now b square minus b square cancels. We are left with alpha beta is equals 4ac all over 4a square. Now look at it. 4 divided by 4, 1. So that goes. Here is a and here is a raised to the power of 2. A raised to the power of 2 is the same thing as a times a. So this is the same thing as ac all over a times a. So 1a can cancel this a. So we are left with c over a. So alpha beta is equals c over a. So now you may be wondering, how does this change the price of garri in the market? Yes, it does. Look at this. We have this and we have this. For the first question, it says that if alpha and beta are the roots of the following equation, state the value of alpha plus beta and alpha beta. Now this is the equation. S square minus s plus 1 is equals 0. And the standard form of quadratic equation is simply as square plus bs plus c is equals 0. Now comparing, a is equals 1 and b is equals minus 1. C equals 1. So a equals 1, b is equals minus 1, c is equals 1. And we already established that alpha plus beta is equals minus b over a. This is simply minus b is minus 1. So minus 1 over a is 1 over 1. This is simply minus times minus is plus over 1. So this becomes plus 1 over 1, which is equals 1. So alpha plus beta is equals 1. How about alpha beta? Alpha beta is simply c over a. And from this equation, what is c? C is 1. And what is a? A is 1. So alpha beta is equals 1 also. Now let's look at something else. If it were to be something like this, 2s squared minus 6s plus 5 equals 0. So from this, we already know that a is equals to b is equals minus c, 6, and c is equals 5. If in this question we are asked to look for alpha plus beta, alpha plus beta will simply be minus b over a. B is minus 6, a is 2, so it becomes minus times minus is plus, so this becomes 6 over 2, which is 3. Alpha plus beta is 3. If we are looking for alpha beta is simply c over a. C is 5 and a is 2. So alpha beta is simply 5 over 2. So let's see how to solve the second question. So now, alpha plus beta square is equals alpha plus beta all square minus 2 alpha beta. And we've already derived alpha plus beta to be 3. So we have alpha plus beta is 3. 3 square minus 2 alpha beta is 5 over 2. So 2 times 5 over 2 over alpha beta, which is 5 over 2. So this is simply 9 minus 5 over 5 over 2. This is simply 9 minus 5 is 4. So 4 divided by 2 over 5. This is equals 8 over 5. So the answer is 8 over 5. This is how you solve this type of questions. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to get more amazing videos. And feel free to let me know how you feel using the comment box. Thank you. Don't forget to share.